Hello everybody, this is Midwest Finesse, and today I'm going to be discussing a punch rig. I personally have not fished this rig very much because I got this stuff late in the year. It was, I believe, late fall that I got this stuff in 2018. And you technically want to fish this rig, I believe, in midsummer, maybe late summer, when that vegetation is really kind of just growing in thick, because this rig helps you get through all that thick vegetation that's growing. This right here is a 1 ounce Woo Tungsten punch weight. And this is, I like to use tungsten. You can use lead, but it's just a little bit bigger, whereas tungsten's got a small profile. And it's nice and heavy, so it can pierce right through all that vegetation. So to start off, what you're going to need is your main line. I'm just taking a piece of 50-pound bait right here. I did a little bit thicker and heavier so you could see what I'm working with and what I'm doing. You're going to take EWG hook right here, some bobber stoppers. I'm going to be using a Z-Man Turbo Craws as my trailer today for my punch bait. You can use mainly any crawl out there or any type of trailer bait that you usually put on a jig for this bait, but that's what I've chosen to use today. And you're going to need a punch skirt. So what you're first going to do is you're going to take your main line, and for your bobber stoppers, I like to use bobber stoppers. I know you can buy I can't think of what they're called right now, but I believe they're stoppers that you can use for your weight. What I found is they're more expensive. You can usually buy, I think, 10 little 2-packs, and they've usually got 5 or 6 on each of them. And you could buy 2 of these for, I think, $2, or you could go buy bobber stoppers for 1,000 of them for like $10. So, I mean, this is a lot cheaper to buy just the plain bobber stoppers, and I feel like they work just the same. So it's up to you. Depending on the weight you're going to use, I would say probably going to use 2 bobber stoppers because I'm using a 1 ounce weight. And when you're casting it out there, that way it's going to be hitting these bobber stoppers pretty hard. So I'm going to go ahead and slide 2 on there. So you've got those 2 on there right now. And then next what you're going to do is you're going to take your punch weight right here. And you can see this little like plug right here that they've got on the end. And I'm personally going to take a Woo Tungsten punch skirt today, and I believe this is their fire crawl, and you can see that they come in all kinds of different colors right there. It really kind of depends what type of fish you're going after or what the bait color they want that day. But I'm going to use this color today because it goes, well, I thought quite well with that color right there. Sometimes I like my bait to match my skirt, sometimes I don't. It kind of depends what the fish you're going for and how crazy you want that bait to be that day. But you're going to take your punch weight, and when you do this, make sure your skirt's bottom's all lined. You don't want to take the shorter end and put that on top, because if you do, that's how it'll look. So take your longer end. I'll try and separate this here so you can see it. There we go, just about. You can see how the top end's just a little bit longer than the other, but looks a whole lot better if you put that longer end on the top. I mean, it's up to you what you want to try. I personally like to do it this way. You're going to take that little insert right there, just going to slide it into that rubber ring right here. You're just going to keep them pushing. Make sure the skirt slides up on there too. So that doesn't slide up on there, you want to get that on there too. Just going to keep sliding it until the whole piece is up on there, onto that weight. So this may take a minute to get because it's just a plastic plug coming out of that tungsten right there. And this is a rubber skirt right here, so it may take you a minute to get it. Just make sure once you get it up on there, it's fully on there. So there we go, you can see how it's on there, and it keeps that skirt and sinker all together. So the next part is, after you've got your bobber stoppers on there, you're going to take your line, and you're going to feed it through that hole in the sinker. You straighten out my line just a little bit so it goes in there easier. There we go. Just go slide it down into there. You're going to grab the other tag end. So you can see when that does that, it stops that weight from sliding down. If you want to, you can let slide. It's kind of the same thing with the Texas rig. I know some people like to have stoppers on there so their weight only goes so far. Or you can just kind of let slide and see how it goes. After you do that though, you're going to take your tag end that's coming out down here. You're going to take your hook and you're going to tie it onto that. I like to do just a simple fisherman's knot, where you just kind of twist it around. I like to twist it around about 5 times. I think that was 5 right about right there. You're going to take your tag end, I take a little bit of prying right here. There we go. You got your little loop right there. Put your tag in through there. Make sure that stays all nice and straight so it doesn't get tangled up. There we go. And you're going to take that tag in again and put back through that loop. Once you do that, I usually like to just pinch that down if you can, and then just kind of pull it real quick so it doesn't come undone. And I might have already mentioned this, but this is the Gamakatsu EWG 4/0 sized hook. This is one that I've liked because it matches about the same size as my bait, so I can get on there. If my bait was probably smaller, I'd probably use a smaller hook, maybe like a 2/0, 1/0 hook. But this is the hook that I've chosen today. If you want to, you have a pair of braid scissors. These are the KastKing braid scissors. You can find these on Amazon. Their website at kastking.com. I'm going to go ahead and just trim this little tag end right here. And by trimming that little tag end right there, just gives a little bit better look right there so that piece isn't hanging off. And when you do that, I like to leave just a little bit so in case your knot does tighten a little bit. When you've got a fish on there, you get hung up on something, that knot stays nice and tight. And the next part you're going to do is, depends what way you want your bait to show. I personally am going to want it because the hook's going to add just a little bit of weight down to it, so when it sits there in the water, it's going to pull it down like this and sit up. So I'm going to take my hook, I'm going to rig it through the back of it, into the back end of it. It's going to be the belly side. Just going to pull up a little piece on it, slide it all the way up here, pull it up on there nicely, lay your hook right there, find out about where it's going to come through, pierce it just straight all the way through, pull it down just like that. And if you want to, I like to take it just lightly, pull it through the skin just a little bit right there, just kind of barely skin hook it right there. That way it keeps it pretty weedless still. After that, you're going to take it, there we go, you're going to slide that back down there, and then you're going to slide your power stopper just right onto it. And there you go. So it is a fairly big profile bait, but I've heard that it works pretty well when you're trying to get in that thick vegetation and you want to fish something like a jig, but you need a little bit more weedless where you can use that EWG, and that's personally how I like to rig it. It's just a heavy bait to punch through all that vegetation, and you can use heavier weights like a 2 ounce, I think a 1.5 ounce. If you want to go light, you could probably use a 1/2 ounce. If you do that, you probably only need 1 bobber stopper. I like to use 2, so it holds it nice and tight. But that's how it looks. Right there, let me turn that around so you can colors match up a little bit better. There we go, so you can see how the brown's right there, orange is over there. And it will just kind of sink down there, and then this bait will sit up there like a crawfish, and you can just kind of drag it.